What's up guys, it's Gothic aka Sam, and today we are starting a new route on Asagao Academy. And I am super duper excited because you guys voted and you guys chose Jared, which makes me so happy. So we're gonna pick Jared. I watched Mai through my eyelashes. Aww. Her eyes widened and she looked away for a minute. I'm sorry, Mai. No, Hana, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Of course you'd fall for him. Jared is the most attractive man that has ever walked this earth. You probably have a way better chance of being with him than I ever did anyways. You actually talk to him. You do too. Mai shook her head and held up a hand. No, it's better this way. Well, go on. What? Go on and get your man. Wait, you mean now?
Yeah.
Mai hit me on the back and practically shoved me towards the door. As I began to leave, my legs turning to jelly as small pink blobs filled my vision. What? Go. Mai was tossing cherry blossom petals over my head. Go get Senpai to notice you. Mai. She gave a lopsided smile.
You're my best friend.
You're more important to me than a dumb boy, Hana. You're my best friend. Mai blurred as tears filled my vision. Mai, thank you. Mai beamed at me.
Yeah.
No time to talk, Hana. This is going to be your big day. You're a main character. Unless you mess up really badly, you'll definitely get a good answer. I've messed up a lot, though. Just go. With a final shove, I was out the door. Now, where would I find him? It's okay, Hana. You can do this. I had been standing in front of Jared's door for 7 minutes. My knees kept trembling and my hands were sweating. I had to do it. There was no way I could go back and face Mai if I didn't, especially after she gave me her support. That was it then. I turned and walked back to the beginning of the hall. I'd just walk up and in one swift motion. Hey, what do you think about adding an extra
Hana.
He's so sparkly. I forgot to knock on the door. Jared, sitting at his desk, shoved hastily whatever he was reading under it and stood to face me. What exactly are you doing here? Will you go to the flower festival with me? My teeth were almost chattering with how much I was stuttering. Jared stood for a minute, his head cocked to the side. Wait, Oh. He flipped his hair, in an instant restored to complete assurance. Of course I'll go to the festival with you. In fact, I was planning on asking you myself.
Really?
But this is even better. It was brave of you to ask me out, Hana. I know I can be. He stepped closer. Intimidating. This is how the Jared road's gonna go. For me, I'm just gonna blush and laugh a lot. Okay. This is how I get when people flirt with me in real life, too. I laugh my butt off, and it's so bad. Anyway. Not at all. Really? Thank you. I'm impressed. My legs shook again, and this time for an altogether different reason. How about we meet tomorrow at 2? I've got something I want to show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That sounds great.
Bye.
Then I must beg your leave, my lady. I have to return to what I was working on before.
See you later.
Of course. Goodbye. I dashed out of the room and leaned against the wall with a sigh. I can't believe he was going to ask me. A dull thud came from inside his room, probably his drawer. Come to think of it, what was he working on before I came in? Something about an extra dungeon? I shook my head. It was none of my business. I had a date to prepare for. I woke up the next day, the day of the flower festival. I was buzzing with anticipation, but because of that, it took me forever to wake up. It was almost noon, and I rubbed my eyes as I rose. Hey there, sleepyhead. Good morning. You slept even later than I did. That's impressive, Hana. I sat up in bed and something on the edge of my desk caught my eye.
Hey.
What's that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a letter for you. It came in the mail this morning, so I just I scrambled out of bed and into my desk chair, ripping open the letter. Whoa, geez, it calmed down. It's not going anywhere. Turning away from her, I started to read. Little Blossom, I've been doing this past few weeks. I'm sorry I haven't found time to write. Your pa's been working hard lately, and I seem to go to sleep right when I get home. I know things were difficult for you here, and I only hope you're having a better time where you are now. It isn't the same without you here. I miss your cheeriness, watching TV with you, and most of all your pink hair bobbing around the kitchen. Hana, I know you feel bad about the pressure those must be putting on me, but don't. I do this because I love you. There is nothing I want more in this world than your happiness. I miss you, Hana. Be strong. Your papa. My hands trembled. Tears filled my eyes. I hadn't written to him since arriving in Asagao. As many times a day as he crossed my mind, I'd just been busy with other things. He must be sick. He must be worried sick, and from the sound of things, he was also depressed. I miss my father. I miss my home. I missed helping him. If I wasn't around to cook him breakfast, he almost never ate. He kept saying it was fine, but he was getting older without my mom there to take care of him. Hana, are you okay? I whipped my eyes on my sleeve. Yeah, I'm fine. I miss my dad. I picked up a pencil and paper began to write, trying hard to block out the tears. Eventually, Mai turned to her own work and let me be. Dad, I'm doing really great here. This has been the best change of my life. I have a best friend, I might join a club, I even have a date. You sacrificed so much to bring me here, and I know I hardly gave you any choice with the way things were going. I was spoiled and ungrateful, but you always did whatever was necessary for me. I miss you so much, and thank you. This was a huge sacrifice. Please eat well and take care of yourself. Remember, 2 glasses of water in the morning and 1 before bed. Have breakfast. Scrambled eggs are easy to make. Draw a smiley face on them and ketchup, just like I would if I was there. I'll send my love through that, so make sure you do it. I miss you. And tell Mom happy birthday. I emerged into the sunlight in my yukata feeling somewhat self-conscious. Apparently it wasn't normal to go to the festival in a yukata, but Mai insisted I wear one. I asked what she was doing for the festival, but she didn't quite respond. Oh, you know, I've got plans. I didn't really buy it, though. I shifted nervously on the steps in front of the dorm. Where was Jared? Was it possible he stood me up? It was a crisp spring day. The birds chattering in the trees and the sunlight bouncing off the cement walkway lifted my spirits. A breeze wafted through the air, carrying with it a brief hint of the ocean and something else. Ham. Oh god, the blue shirt. Oh, the blue shirt. It's such a Jared thing. For the record, I do watch all the guys in this game. Watch all their videos. And Jared is still my favorite. Just saying. Jared appeared from around the corner, somewhat disheveled. He smiled brightly at me, his teeth glinting in the light. I'm sorry I'm so late. Not at all.
You're perfect.
You look beautiful. Not that many could pull off a yukata so purple. Yet with you, it only brings out your beauty. Oh, you're just saying that. Together we make the most attractive pair Asagao has ever seen. And I would know, I keep track of that stuff. So what are we going to do today? I wanted to show you something. Have you been off campus yet? No, I've been so busy I kind of forgot the rest of the world existed. Great. Well, not great. I've got something to show you. Come on. He held out his hand for me to take. Blushing, I grabbed it and he gently led me away from the dorm and into campus. His hand was warm, long, and thin. I didn't expect it, but my hand was so tiny that his practically engulfed mine. But there was something about them. They felt intricate and exacting, like an artist's hands. We met. Jared was looking at me expectantly.
What?
Wait, what? What did you think of me when we first met? We weren't even 5 minutes into the festival and he was already asking me this? When we first met, Jared was the first person I met when I came to Asagao, wasn't he?
Well,
You were the most beautiful person I'd ever met. You were also the first Asagao student I met. I was absolutely terrified of coming here, and I was terrified of you. I was so scared I could hardly remember a thing about meeting him. You remembered my name. You figured out my name, and I didn't get yours. Of course I remembered your name. I was struck by you. I'm sorry? I can't really put my finger on it. He rubbed his hand across his forehead, deep in thought. I'm not used to not being able to explain things. This is weird. Okay, you know when you have a cute little puppy, and when it's in front of you, it's the most captivating, magnificent creature that you've ever seen, and you just want to watch it and cuddle it and make sure no one steps on it? It was kind of like that, except you're a girl, not a puppy, and you don't need me to keep people from stepping on you. Anyway, I was working on something at the time, and I couldn't really stay focused, so I had to talk to you. What were you working on? He avoided my eyes, but instead turning to point at a tree we were passing. Do you see that? Yes, it's a tree. These trees are really smart. They only bloom after the last snow of the season has fallen. How does it know that? He sighed, staring wistfully at the trees. Some things are not meant for us to know. Geez, got it. I want to ask about you were working on again. We left campus, but instead of heading for the nearby train station, Jared led me towards the empty field. Oh, I've been here before. Good. I was getting worried you were a recluse, but I know there's something you haven't seen. He pulled me to the left. On the very edge of the field was a long tree line, and Jared led me straight towards it. This was weird. Rather, Jared was weird. He was still his flamboyant self, but he seemed to have toned it down a bit. I wasn't sure what did it, but it wasn't what I expected. Not that it was bad. Being surrounded by Jared's intensity for a number of hours seemed like it would wear me out quickly. But I was confused. We entered the trees, creeping over shrubs and fallen logs. A brown path was worn into the ground from someone. Jared, walking it, but had fallen into slight disrepair as the weeds were struggling to consume it again. Was he the only one who knew about this place? People always said they had a private place, but usually it wasn't actually private. Jared stopped in front of me and I bumped into his back. We're here. Where? Looking around, there were just trees. Then Jared stepped aside. Look. Oh, they're so cute. I can't even. Oh my goodness. This is a secret place. At least I hope it is. Don't tell people about it. The flowers here are the most beautiful I've ever seen. I think it's because the soil here is allowed to go through its natural cycles. Things die in it, they decompose, the flowers get to eat. And the flowers die in winter, just like everything else here. But in spring, they bloom again, and each year they're more vibrant. They pop open and sing to the sky, sweet melodies of light and water and sundrops. Never mind, they're just really pretty flowers. I giggled. You seem to know a lot about flowers. To my utter surprise, Jared blushed. Yeah, I do. He didn't say anything else. A strange tension hung in the air. Did I see something wrong? No, not at all. I'm just really bad about talking about myself. I never know exactly what I want to say. Something about that praising confused me, but Jared continued before I could figure out what. My family owns a school for the traditional Japanese art.
Really?
Really? He stuck his hand in his pocket and looked away from me. He didn't seem too pleased to be discussing this. We're masters of all the traditional arts, tea ceremonies, flower arrangement, kabuki theater, dance. Old families send their kids to us to be cultured, and girls from all over Japan get sent to learn how to be good women. You don't seem... the type. I flinched, not expecting his sudden aggression. The more I thought about it, the more it made sense. Jared was good at many things, but more than that, he was poised, charismatic, and elegant. The first thing you thought when you saw him was how much of an impact his presence made, not how intelligent he was. He was beautiful. Almost like he was sculpted by an artisan. Only now, it just occurred to me that that's perhaps what he had been. Is that why you're at Asagao? He sighed. Only the best for me. You don't know how much talking it took to convince my mom to send me here, or let me start modeling. I whistled. Jared looked at me wearily. Oops. I didn't know what to say, so I turned back to the flowers. The sun was getting kind of hot. It was beaming straight down into my neck, and a single sweat drop rolled down my back and melted into the band of my obi. I shuddered. Well, would you like to keep walking? There are a few other nicer places I could take you.
Yeah.
Sure. Anything to dispel this awkwardness. So let me tell me a bit about yourself. How'd you get into Asagao? I laughed nervously. Well, I'm a scholarship student. There was no way my father and I would be able to manage the cost by ourselves. He raised an eyebrow but said nothing. I'm not even sure how I passed the interview process. Most of the kids here are either rich like Mai, or smart like Sag, or incredibly talented like you. It slipped out without me realizing. Jared beamed at me. Why, thank you, my dearest lady. You're welcome. There, that was it. That weird, highfalutin speech he got. He hadn't been talking like that until just now. Why? There was no one around us. We were just walking in the empty field. I didn't understand it, but there was no way I was going to ask why. Not after the awkwardness we just went through. What are your dreams? My dreams? Yeah, what do you want to do after you leave Asagao? I couldn't remember the last time I had a dream or an overarching goal. When I was little, I had some. A nurse, an actress, a writer, a vet, all the usual things a child would want to be. But at some point when I was growing up, I lost that part of me. When did that... I stopped walking. Jared immediately stopped too, looking at me in concern. So you don't know? What? Oh, no, I don't. I stopped thinking about the future after... That's okay, me neither. No, you? But you're you. Yep, I'm me. He scratched his neck and looked away. He didn't go on either. Are you not going to explain?
Yeah.
Do you really want to hear this? He said it with more force than I expected. He turned to face me, eyes shining. Do you? Yes, that's why I asked. What was going on with him? Was he always like this? No, he wasn't. He was usually so much. Now he was being much. He was just being a different kind of much. My mother wants me to hear at the Institute, of course. There's no one but me to do it. So I'm not sure. I think I'd rather go into entertainment.
Really?
That's so cool. He chuckled. Is it? There's not a good likelihood I'll end up in anything more than a few commercials, maybe some small town plays and some restaurant in Osaka. With your looks? No. I'm being practical. You're being dumb. You're usually so confident. You have absolute faith in yourself. Why not now? Why not now with this? If it were about anyone else, you'd tell them to keep going until they made it happen, right? Well, same here. If you work hard enough, you're good enough, and you don't give up, you'll definitely make it. I believe that. He passed through a surprising mixture of emotions before my eyes. Eventually, he sighed again. You're right. I should just believe in myself. And maybe you'll figure out exactly what you want to do, too. Yeah. We remained in thoughtful silence as he led me up the steps of the dorm. We paused in front of the door, and I wanted to whack myself with my own obi. I wasn't sure how it happened, but I really botched things up. This was probably the most awkward dates he'd ever been on. Well, here we are. Yep, here we are. Suddenly he jumped back away from me. Oh. But what? Nothing. I'd love to be able to spend more time with you, but I have something I need to practice for. I stared at him and he waved his hand in the way that he had. Don't worry, you'll find out about it soon enough. But Hana, he clasped my hands in his. Thank you so much. He was staring into the depths of my soul as if I did him a huge service. You're welcome. Was hanging out with Jared always going to be this weird? I really mean it. I loved this. You don't know how much it means to me. I guess not.
Bye.
Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye. He let go of my hands and dashed off, a small cloud of dust trailing at his feet. Well, that was a fun date all in all. I think. Alright, and that's where we're going to end this episode of Asagao Academy. If you like what you see, please leave a like, comment down below, and I will see you in the next episode. We're doing the Jared route. I'm so happy. He's my favorite. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!